I've got a lot of experience dealing with dark triads. Dark triads are particularly attracted to opportunities to sabotage and hurt people. Dark triads are narcissists that also are malignant, and they're very resigned and cynical personally. They're highly envious and jealous people, and they're extremely manipulative. These are people that have ultimately sold out to darkness entirely, and they embody the highest level of social and personal cowardice of any type of human being on the planet. Because of their profound social fear, they are profound victims. The highest order of victimhood is sadism, because sadism needs to destroy other people because of its own victimization of self just through the observation of the talents, skills, likability, social status, and anything else that somebody possesses that these people want for themselves. And so the Machiavellianism of these people means that they will target you on the front end and early. And so in many instances of betrayal in my life, what you come to discover is that these people, whether they're your family members or potential business associates, they come into your life and they want to get integrated into your affairs, and it isn't always the case that you need their help or support, but you see, they're going to offer you something. Now, one thing to look out for these people, they lack empathy, and so on the front end, they're going to ask for your trust. The one thing that I can say for certain that was a tell that I didn't recognize was the effusive need for them to experience that you trust them. And the odd thing to you would be that you already do. That you wouldn't really have some reason to not trust them initially, but you'll notice that they spend a lot of time selling their participation in your business or your affairs, touting their accolades, their success, their trustworthiness. They might show you things like their bank statements or talk about their education level, and they will talk about all the things that they're going to provide to you. But make no mistake, they will not fulfill on those obligations or agreements. They will become a victim, and they will sabotage and attempt to destroy you, and they will bake a betrayal cake. You see, they're so sadistic that they will pretend to be on board and your friend while behind the scenes they're working with attorneys or they're already laying the foundation for a smear. But they will do anything to destroy you. They'll steal the money right out of your account. They'll sue you. They will undermine you to your family, your friends. They will call your old best friends that you haven't even talked to for 20 years and start to lay the foundation against your mental well-being well in advance of them taking every penny out of your bank account, stealing all your tools and shop supplies, destroying everything in your office, throwing it in the dumpster, and leaving you high and dry a few months within the start of your successful business. They'll sue you. You know, they'll make fake invoices and cook their own books so they can get a tax write-off, and they'll sue you when they fail to live up to expectations and don't even deliver a single molecule of value. They feel entitled. They actually, in many instances, wish they could be you. They want to replace you in some instances where they see what you have, they see your team, they see your marriage, they see your family, and they're so envious that they become victimized simply by the observation of you. And so that's one of the reasons why they target you, is because you have something about you that they can't quite put their finger on. You see, they lack empathy. They lack any authenticity. The Machiavellian dark triad narcissist has a severe narcissistic injury that can turn them into a psychopath. They have the highest level of social envy to the point of total social chameleon and cowardice. They're totally political in everything they do. They're entirely hierarchical. They need endless amounts of attention, praise, and admiration. And if they don't get it from you, that is when they turn on you. They're parasitic entirely. And so if you get involved with them in business, the problem is they do not have the ability to adhere to their role. You see, they look at everybody in this hierarchical way, and they will feel entitled to the praise, the acknowledgement, the attention, the perceived value of other team members, and they will even become enraged if anybody gets any praise above them in their own imagination. And these outbursts will be telling because they will be childlike fits. They will feel unappreciated, undervalued, and this is when they really turn on you. And so they will turn on you early, and you may not see the signs of it, but they will stop doing what they're supposed to do. They may start focusing on what you do. They may start trying to blend into other roles that they think you perceive as more valuable. They will start to undermine you. They will want to replace you or destroy you. Their own fears of failure and humiliation and embarrassment are the glass ceiling on their life. And they could be very successful, but many of them, because of their need to control their environments, because of their intimidation of people intellectually, they structure insufficient teams because they would need to subordinate and control anybody around them. And so they're often frugal, cheap, and very difficult to work with. A dark triad will be difficult to work with because they're control monsters similar to psychopaths, because their fear of failure and narcissistic injury is so severe and they're so cowardly that the protocols and procedures that they invent to protect themselves from failure become a profound constraint. Like what it is they need you to do in order for them to engage with you. They have so much anxiety and fear of failure that working with them is nearly impossible because they need to do things the exact same way they've been doing it. And for that reason, any changes to their environment brought in by, anybody that has charisma, leadership, creativity, or somebody that's a game changer, they will want to be invested and involved. But the problem is that this violates their comfort zone, meaning that they've spent years developing their methods, their practices, the way that they do things in order to mitigate their own failure. And so their need to remain staunchly in control violates the new levels of success that they may even aspire to. And so their own writing of their own wolf ticket checks and promises of their ability to deliver something big is always going to undermine them at the end of the day. It's going to be their own commitment and lack of integrity that becomes the basis of their procrastination and personal sense of failure that then needs to be projected onto other people. So if you get involved in team things, whether it's school, academic, whether it's business, whether they're part of something, whether they're an investor, whether they're a third party, whether they're a family member, they will want to get involved and ride the energy of your coattails to milk you for supply, because people that are inspired and inspiring and movers and shakers and doers are people that they will need to bleed in order to get motivation. You see, they're not able to sustain themselves. And so they constantly need the energy of other people because their fear of failure is so all-consuming that they need people to believe in them in order for them to be compelled to invest in those fantasy futures of their own greatness. And so the inspired people like me, will inspire or motivate these people. They'll come out of the woodwork and attach to you like ticks and then start draining you. And so you could literally have multiple Machiavellian people all competing to simultaneously attempt to destroy your life. They're pretty sick. And if you get one that's a female, she'll kiss you on the mouth after getting out of the back seat with another man because she doesn't mind watching you break, crumble, and fall apart. She'll get involved in your finances. She's supposed to do something in your business. She won't do it. She'll actually enjoy watching you beg her. You see, one of the other things that they do in their feigning of incompetence is they love to exacerbate and exhaust you, acting as if you're unclear. They love to play mental mind games. They love to bait and switch things like dates. They do anything to destabilize you while they're smearing you behind your back. And so they get sadistic satisfaction out of the suffering of other people. And so just beware of the dark triad. This is another level of narcissistic abuse because they go for the jugular. They go for full life destruction. They go for your assets, your money, your social existence, and they're never satisfied. They spy later. They become obsessed because they're so cowardly and insecure. And when you know the deal like I do, all these little cowards in my past, they know who they are and they're watching me. Just keep your eyes open and head on a swivel.